Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Episode 258 of Forever Exiled, and this is what you get. Big shout out first off to our patrons, everybody who resubbed up this week. We love your faces. Thank you so much. Patreon gets you access to our After Dark, which is our podcast after the podcast. And but yeah, big shout out to everybody who supports the podcast. We love your faces. We really appreciate it. And also, if you hit that 5-star on Disc Sub, Spotify, and the Apple one, that's cool too. Yeah, but here we are, 258.
Just like that.
Just like
smooth that. Is it smooth as butter or smooth as a baby's bottom? Which one do you use?
Let's stick with butter to keep safe. But I you could say both. But smooth as margarine.
On a baby's bum.
Okay.
Already with butter. Well, Mac users, this coming week, you've had the game for 4 years.
Cool.
Right
Not
on.
as long as the rest of us, but okay.
Yeah, losers. But, Bonfet and stuff. I wonder, I never thought of that until just now. You know how eventually
Now the dog's doing her thing. Here's the deal. This episode, I am not planning on editing it very much at all. So if you hear the odd slurps or burps or dog scratching or coughs or chair movements, I'm keeping them in. I'm not doing the full edit this week. I don't have time. We are under the gun to get this episode out because of me. And so you get what you get and you don't get upset. Get it, Riley? She heard me. I say we just go. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, you don't care? All right.
I don't care.
All right.
How was
So,
your week?
I was thinking that though, good, but with the Mac thing,
Yeah.
you know how they're trying to, or they were mentioning making everything with Path of Exile 2 cross-compatible, cross-play, right? Xbox, PlayStation, PC. Well, I don't know. Can you do that with Mac? Like, is it that simple? I know that sometimes PlayStation can kind of get in the way of the easy cross compatibility. For some reason, I have in my head that Mac's like that either. Yeah.
Apple's
so
a bit of a
anyway,
pain.
hopefully it works out for Mac only users. But if not, you got to convert to the bigger GBs.
Get a bigger GBs with the Wi-Fi's.
Oh man, those Wi-Fi's. I had a good week, man. I had a good week. It was very new. For me, I was a deadbeat, but I'm just sound old and ancient. I'm on, I have lots wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like all the different gimpinesses that I have. And so I'm trying a pain medication, more of a global pain medication, as opposed to something like a shot in my neck or in my knee. I'm trying something that'll hopefully accommodate everything. But of course, like, anything that impacts the body. And so unfortunately it seems like that long list of side effects that comes with this specific medication I'm checking off a lot of them now. I'm only in the first week and a half, and so that's fine, but so I'm still in the ramp up stage. Maybe the side effects won't continue, which was something that was told to me. I haven't been able to stay awake for more than 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Like I'll drop the kids off at school. I'll come home and I'll nap. No joke. And then it'll be like, I'll force myself to wake up because stuff needs to be done, but I'll do the bare minimum around the house. Then I'll sleep again. Then I'll pick up my son from school, come back. I can barely make dinner after, I'll sleep through books. I'll maybe watch an hour with my wife, and then
hopefully that's just a ramp up for now for you. Hopefully,
but it was all week, so I don't feel well rested. It's one of those things where it doesn't matter how much you sleep, you're not going to feel rested. But I feel very useless, and the house looks like it too. So it's discouraging in that regards. I mean, it's for a good reason, so there's no criticisms there. It's just, it was one of those weeks. One of those weeks where I didn't get to do anything, but I did get to play the private league, which was a lot of fun. That started yesterday for us in terms of recording dates and private league dates. Today's Saturday. Yesterday was Friday. And so I did get to play a little bit there. So that was good. But I had a good week. It was just unfortunately uneventful. And had I started my medication at a different time, this would have been a great week for me to start using up some of that grass seed I'm trying to use up. Cool air, raining,
good weather.
The moisture from the mornings lasting until almost noon, just after, because of how cool the day is. So it would have been a good week to lay the grass seed without needing to babysit it.
It's true, but you didn't.
No. So Well, hopefully the fall lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah.
How about you? You had a week?
Oh, this week's been awful. Really busy, really busy, which I knew this week was going to be. And then my wife took off on Thursday morning. It already feels like she's been gone a week. It's so busy with work. And then to add on to that now I'm the only one at home with the kids and then also just this week, like, I also think my kids are against me. I think they're trying to make me look bad while Christina's away. So let me walk you through a 2-day scenario, and I'll try and make this as quick as possible. So Thursday, Christina leaves at 6 a.m. Everybody's up to say goodbye. Maya, my youngest, and I had to leave for a dentist appointment. And because of what they were doing, they wanted her in first thing in the morning. So we left the house at 6:45. But that meant that I was leaving my other two kids at home, but they're old enough. Like my oldest is 14, almost 15. But he walks to school too early for my daughter to go to school. So I had my mom come by in the morning. She came at like 7:45 so that she could walk my daughter to school. And then I just told her to take the key from Logan because I'll be home in the afternoon. And then my mom was coming back on Friday yesterday, which normally we record on Friday, but I had a whole day event that was going into the evening. So my mom was going to come watch the kids. So I said, just keep the key. You can get into the house then on Friday because I'm going to be gone. Maya and I go to the thing, come back home. She had to stay home for the day because she was out of it. So she stayed at home and chilled. I was working all day. It feels like next thing I hear just bang, 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 bang on the back door at the patio door. And I'm like, what the hell? I was working. I was on the phone at the time. I look down at the phone. It's 2:40, or at my clock, it's 2:40. Well, my kid gets out at 2:25. Now, thankfully, my oldest walks past the school to pick her, on his way home. So he sees her. They get to the front door, but he doesn't have his key because my mom's got his key. So he can't get in. And apparently I'm not hearing the front door from my office. So they walked around the back. I'm like, son of a bee, like one day. And I forget my kids to pick them up. Then yesterday, and then on Thursday afternoon, my daughter's been complaining about pain in her lower right abdomen.
Which one?
Which daughter? Sophia, and it's been for a couple days now. And so I was like, man, she was complaining. It was like pressurized pain too, and it was right at the appendix area, which I'm of course a little bit nervous about because I'd gone through that.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, I do not need a freaking emergency visit while Christina's gone. So I called our doctor and I got her in, and they were able to get her in the next day. So on Friday. So I take Sophia out of school on Friday. I go pick her up from school, 10 o'clock, her and I have to get to my event for noon, which is then going to go all afternoon and evening. So I take her to the doctor's. We're in the doctor's, the first waiting area for the doctor. And I get a phone call from the school, and I'm thinking, I checked her out. Like they know me. They all know me there. I'm like, what the heck are they calling for? My other daughter went to school with no lunch. And I'm like, she had a lunch. It was sitting right on the counter. Like, what are you? I'm like, I was just at the school. I will come back. I have to take my daughter back, so I'll make sure I bring her lunch. Somehow Maya had decided to take the empty lunch kit instead of the full lunch kit to school with her. So I'm like, these freaking kids are just trying to make me look bad. I'm like, don't tell mom any of this stuff. She might listen to this episode while she's in Chile. She's having a great time, which I'm really happy for. But I'm done. I am so I played the private league for about 35 minutes. I got to Brutus. I killed Brutus, and I was like, that's it. That's where I'm capping out. It might be a very easy league, this league, to get into the lottery, because I am not going to be up there at all. I just have no time, and I have right now no desire to even be on my computer. I want to be nothing right now. I just want to. There's an F1 race this weekend. Maybe I'll watch it like 4 times so I just don't have to move.
It's Baku too.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be a fun race. So I feel like I haven't done anything except just exist enough to keep my kids alive and work. And work's been bananas. And my work all knows that my wife's gone. And of course, all the women in my office think that I'm a disaster, and but I'm also like insanely busy. So they know how busy I am with work. So then all of a sudden to throw 3 kids into that by myself, like I'm an active dad in my kid's life. But the fact is, Christina is like the superstar in our family. So I'm getting by, I'm getting
Christina,
by.
If you hear this, you should hear what he actually says about you in After Dark.
She knows it's true. She knows I'm like, I will survive. I will make it. But, just whenever you want to come home, just come home.
Have you seen The Incredibles 2?
I think we've seen all of them. Yeah.
It's fantastic. And there's a part where the dad's taking over for the mom.
Yeah.
In this circumstance. Yeah. And then he goes to Edna Mode's place because he needs help with the baby. Now he's discovering has powers. Mm-hmm. And when he shows up to Edna's place, he's just beat. Like, he doesn't even introduce himself. She's like all pissed. She's answering her door service. She's like, what's going on? Blah, blah. Oh, Robert, you look terrible. And she lets him in. And he's just beat. Like, they make him look horrible. And he's like barely awake, but complaining. And he's like, and they changed math. And we needed batteries. We needed AA's. So I went to the store and I got AAA's. So now I need to go back to the store because we still need AA's. And it's one of my favorite scenes because he's just
there's so many things too. And it's like the beginning of the year. So Sophia's friends are all organizing a swimming party today to go swimming because
oh man,
they get like some swimming pass or something. And so the moms were all talking, and so Christina had mentioned to them that she was gone. So here's Justin's cell number. So I'm getting messages from people I don't know, and I did know something was happening. So now I'm trying to organize that today, but then add in the fact that all of the parent interview, meet the teacher things are also happening while Christina's gone, and then my son's as well. I'm like, my phone has never looked more disgusting on my calendar. Like I told people in my office, I'm like, if you need me, just email me and give me 2 weeks. Unless it's emergency, because we did have an emergency in one of my offices this week too. So yeah, you know what? It's been a week. I am whatever. In general, life is very good. Everybody's healthy. Thankfully, my daughter was fine. We went to the doctor. Everything's good. And we all have our health, so that's great. I'm so tired. I believe this is the start of day 3. Like it's going to be a bit.
Your wife is gone for how long?
Just shy of 3 weeks. So it's going to, it's going to,
all right.
But
and
I don't have any work weeks that look like what last week was coming up. So hopefully,
and your daughter doesn't need an appendectomy?
No, thankfully she's all good. And I have already planned out a cleaning company to come through my house 2 days before Christina comes home.
Isn't that an after dark comment?
Yes, that probably should have been X that.
Okay, Justin might do a little bit of editing.
Yeah, you know what though? In general, things are good. I'm excited that we're having the private league. I love that people have fun with it. I wish I was going to be more involved. I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to this private league. Like I might get some time this afternoon, or not this afternoon, definitely not this afternoon, but this week to hopefully play. But my drive to be on my computer is like 0. It's very, very low right now. So yeah. Anyway, we should talk about the private league. Private league started. If you're not playing it, you can hop onto our Discord. It's in the announcements. It's going to run for 10 days. It just started yesterday. Normally we would record this the evening of the private league starting. I couldn't. I tried to last night, but I just could not. It did not exist in real life. And but it still runs for 10 days. Like when this comes out, it will run for a week. It will end on the following Monday that this comes out. So if you want to play, come play. It's hardcore solo self-found Settlers of Kalguur. No other crazy modifiers, but
were you going to say Catan every single time?
Very close.
Because it starts with a K.
Mm-hmm.
Settlers of Kalguur.
That's right. Yeah, it was very close, but yeah. So if you're not playing, come play. I just added more spots because I noticed we were capped already again. So come join us. Come play. We're in Global 2121 all the time. We're hanging out on Discord. Big shout out again. I know we say this every single private league, but it needs being shout out to Felons and Love Contagion. But Felons is making sure that it keeps running for us. We have an amazing Forever Exiled bot that runs each league for our private league, and it lets us track where everybody's at and deaths, and it's a ton of fun. So a big shout out, huge thank you both to Felon and Love Contagion for making that thing for us, and to Felon for keeping it up and making sure it runs even when he's not around, because I think he's away. He was away at the start of this private league. So huge shout out. Really, really appreciate it.
Very much so. And it is a lot of fun to see. There's a lot of very creative names in there. Very, very
nice
funny
job,
one.
everybody.
So thank you for being so derogatory and inclusive to both Justin and I and everyone else for making sure that we're all cut down equally. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it.
What do we got this week? I feel like this will probably be a shorter episode because, well, it's Saturday. This has to come out in a couple hours, and there's not a whole lot going on, really. It's Path of Exile right now.
One Xbox bug fix where they're just trying to make load times shorter. An announcement for the Tokyo Game Show. GGG's going to Japan.
Oh, they went to Tokyo, or they're going? Wow.
They're going to, yeah. Okay. And then stash tab, and then fan art competition. Fan art competition is always good, but you should check out the first image for the first fan art one.
That's the stash
Remember
tab?
The garbage pail kids or whatever they were called?
Oh, that's so cool. Piety. That is really clever.
Eye balloons,
like that.
but then look like the actual. There's one that fell.
Oh, the one on the ground. Yeah.
Anyway, they're all fantastic, but
really good.
That's somebody that's our age or a little bit older, because I was never allowed to play with those ever.
No. I think my kids have stuff.
Goodness, I wasn't even allowed to watch Darkwing Duck for a long time, man.
That's awesome. Oh, that's cool. I'm just scrolling through them. Really good. I love the knitted one too. Wow. Or whatever that is.
Crochet.
Just
come on.
It's all whatever. It's all the same. Sorry, Aaron. Yeah. But wow, that's really cool. Nice job, everybody. Is this they're just highlights because they're not done. They're running their competition right now, right?
I don't pay attention to it. I'm not talented.
So what do you played? What do you?
Yeah, I've enjoyed. So I'm actually not doing zombies, which is funny.
And what are we doing?
Theta was joking around that they were going to do zombies just to prove to me how horrible they are. Or that they're way better than me. One of the two. Either way, it's not going to work out well for me. But I was in the mood for some reason. I'm always in the mood for summon phantasms, but for some reason I was in the mood to proc them in a different way. Okay. And I had an itch for the second Guardian Ascendancy. What's it called? The one where you get the holy relics, the relics that give you the different auras. Yeah. I was in the mood for that. And so I was playing around with a whole bunch of different
one where you get the big one as well, like the second.
The final one. The final one's the one I want. The first one is
the first one, the big guy.
Yeah, which is why it's such a turnoff for me, because it's such you have to babysit it. You have to babysit it, and it's really annoying. And I know there's other ways to use it and make it a little bit more carefree. They don't interest me. They're not fun ways to play for me. So anyway, so I'm going through and I've decided, and so I was theory crafting with a lot of different ideas. I didn't have a fully fledged build up, but I had decent idea of what I wanted to do on the tree and, 12-ish of my gems that I wanted to use. So I'm using Holy Flame Totem with Summon Phantasms.
Super strong early, for sure.
Yeah, not as fast as I was expecting it to be.
No, it's totem, right? But it is still strong because it's nice you throw it down and you can kind of just chill out. It's pretty safe.
And I've never actually done totems long term before.
Okay. Are you going to go?
There was a time with that's just what it's going to be.
Nice.
And because I enjoy using the skills that unlock early. But I'm also using supports that aren't POB savvy, you could say. Okay. I like the idea of, because of what the auras provide as well from the relics. I'm any of the supports that give extra damage from physical damage to a certain element I'm using. So I'm using physical to lightning support. That does convert some damage to lightning, but it also gives extra physical damage as lightning damage. Added fire converts physical damage to a certain, or not converts, sorry. I forget the exact wording, but anyway, a certain percentage of physical damage is added on as extra fire damage. And then hatred that comes from the other one as well, from one of the relics. So it'll be fun to have all three as extra damage and going through and having a good time. And then the Holy Relic will be 50% fire and 50% lightning because of that. And anyway, I'm having a great time. It's fun. And then you have the Phantasms doing all three of those elements as well. And so I'm enjoying it. It's flying through. It's doing great.
Where'd you play to? I know you weren't sure if you were going to get much time to play yesterday.
I am Act 4.
Good man. Nice.
It's my second character.
Really
I died to. Thank you. I died to Cold Guy trying to get summon phantasms at the very beginning.
Oh, Hailrick.
Before the mudflats. Yeah, Hailrick. Yeah. That was tough, man. There's something up with controller support where, and I'm not blaming on controller support, but it's like I'm having to hit A quite a few times when I'm running around. It's like it's not registering multiple inputs at the same time, even if like it's just movement. I've been noticing this all league. So there are quite a few times where I was aiming at Hailrake with Purifying Flame and it just wasn't shooting anywhere near close. But I definitely died that first time. I was playing horribly and it just like Hailrake's a pain in the butt. But Hailrake's a must for me because of Summon Phantasm. That's where it unlocks. So anyway, I died the first time around, but the second time around, for some reason, I did much better. I was expecting to do Hailrake about 8 different times, which sucks for Felons' private donation that he did. Because that's right. Thalon, thank you for doing that as well. So we have two listeners, EJ and Thalon, have their side draws that they're doing that they've donated. So thank you both for doing that. Thalon's requires a little bit of mudflat farming if you're interested. Unfortunately, my restarts were prior to the mudflats. Maybe I should have done the mudflats first and then gone to Hailrake. Just in case. You never do
the mudflats first, though, when you want phantasms. Like, it makes sense that you're going to rush to Hailrake. At least that's an early point to die, even if you have to redo it a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, but I hate starting as just even at the beginning using Glacial Hammer. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. It's so
clunky.
Yeah, and boring. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of fun ways to play, but just that first fight against Hillock is... Anyway. But anyway, so my second time around, I beat him, and then everything was fine after that. I used... I played around with a tiny bit of Absolution. I played around with Herald of Agony, and I, of course, played around with the Holy Flame Totem. But at the end of the day, I just like the casualness of Holy Flame Totem. Just run around, and then I like the idea of me getting what's that one keystone where you can't do damage yourself, but it lets you have an extra totem. Yeah,
I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. I forget
what it's called, but anyway, I like that because it still lets you do damage with minions as well.
That one I'll take out.
Excuse me. And so I like that because a lot of the times, you're using an extra support for that extra damage, but then, it wouldn't be conducive to have something like multiple totems on something where you're also using Summon Phantasms. So it's nice. So now I'm using 2 Holy Flame Totems. I have my Phantasms. They're doing all that extra elemental damage. I've ascended once.
Nice job.
That big Guardian, it was easy too, which was really nice. I like the setup, and it's actually a lot of fun. I did the Weaver, probably the fastest that I've ever done the Weaver.
Sure.
But and the really nice thing about totems compared to zombies, it's just one totem. But the nice thing about totems compared to zombies is that the zombies aren't following me around. So the taunt, even though it's not officially taunting, the attention that it occasionally gets is a lot safer. But it's crazy that the totem, with 0 investment into totem life or survivability, with 0 investment into totem survivability, it survives way more than my zombies with minion survivability at the beginning.
Yeah, totems
it's so poorly balanced. It's so poorly balanced. So looking forward to PoE 2 having a little bit more thought into that leveling process. Hopefully it works out. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Ascending was super easy. And I'm just looking forward to the second ascension. Hopefully I make it because that's the whole point of me being the Guardian. I don't like any other thing. There's not one other node out of the entire Guardian ascendancy that I like outside of that Holy Relic one.
What's your plan then if you did go Merciless and Uber? If you got to Uber, what would be your 2 additional ones?
I would get the one with block chance. And then I'd get the one that has every 4 seconds remove curses and remove and then regain 100% of your life in a second. But I'm using Holy Flame Totem, so curses aren't really an issue for me anyway, because that Consecrated Ground gets rid of it. But I don't like any of the other ones, so yeah.
Well, good luck.
I don't have my build fully fleshed out. I don't know how much mana I'm using. I'm not going for increased mana, so the benefits that I would get for reserving a certain percentage of flat mana isn't going to be very valuable.
But the only thing you're planning to be casting is the totems.
Yeah,
I think you'll probably be pretty good.
Well, that and the minion sentinel guy, the big righteous fire guy.
He is strong though, hey?
Yeah.
Like he is annoying. He's slow as balls.
He is.
He's strong.
Just there. I'm just going to have, it's just a 2-button build. I'm going to cast Holy Flame Totem and then him every time I'm in a certain circumstance. And that'll be it. Like, it'll be good. So just as long as I have the mana for it, it'll be fine. But
apparently my dog's made an entrance. I see you. Lay down. She is not doing well with Christina gone.
No,
she loves Christina. So she sits at the door waiting in the evenings going like, what the heck's happening? Oh no. Why is she not coming in?
And 3 weeks is a long time for a dog to like, maybe she's not coming back bit.
Yeah. She's struggling. Well, that's good. I'm glad. It'll be fun to see how it fleshes out for you.
Hopefully it does. It does. I've been cognizant to not put myself in any stupid situations, but I've also been playing a little bit tired, as I was mentioning with the start of the medication. And so I have put myself in some stupid situations.
Do you forget your hardcore often? Because I do all the time. I get myself into situations where I'm like, because I wasn't even thinking about the fact that like you need to be extra careful.
Right.
You don't though? That's good.
Not this league. I have in the past, but not this league. My problem is thinking that my build's already fleshed out.
Oh, sure.
Like I'm standing in the middle of Azaro's slam being like, well, he can't crit me because I'm crit immune and all this. And I'm like, oh, no, wait, I'm not even close to those nodes yet. And then he takes away half my life and I'm like, whew boy. You know, so, right. Yeah. So there's some times where I forget that my builds are made for hardcore, but you have to get there first. You know what I mean? Yep. So I'm like, I click on a few rare strong boxes and I'm like, oh no, I'm not freeze immune, because I'm always freeze immune.
Frost Nova and something else.
Of course, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I run into those circumstances a little bit. And then after I'm freeze immune, I don't click on any strong boxes because I'm like, oh no, I gotta wait till I'm freeze immune, but I'm freeze immune for, so anyway, So, but it's all good. I'm enjoying it. I hope I last. I hope nothing stupid happens. And it'd be nice to see
how it plays,
what the build is going to be like with that node and how much fun it would be. I'm excited for it anyway. Cool. I see you got to level 11. Congratulations.
I rushed to that last bit because I knew I had to get going. And I was like, I just want to get to Brutus. Then I'll feel like I've at least done something. So I did rush a little bit through that last part, which was probably not the greatest, but it was easy. I'm going to go with the, I think we talked about it in After Dark. I was between a couple, but I ended up going with, I'm going to go with the Gladiator route and play with Spectral Shield Throw because I haven't done that before. And that's the direction at least. So, but it's so early on. I'm not really far into anything yet, but that's the goal. I am hopefully going to play. Maybe tomorrow, maybe I can play a little bit tomorrow. But I think this is probably going to be one of my lower finishes in the private league. I would like to stay alive, but I don't know that I'll get as much time as I normally. I get quite a bit of time into our private leagues, and I really do enjoy them. But this is just timing wise for me, not the greatest. I saw, I was laughing. I pulled up our list of people, and Waza already had a level 94, but dead. Meh. It's dead. But we are playing this time where you can still win if you're alive or dead, except for I think the extra one that EJ added on. But the dead characters still count. But that's 94.
That's just rude.
You know what's funny? I was pulling up Discord yesterday Twitch before our event started, and I was just watching a few people lurking on a few people's channels that I know stream and that play in the private league, and Waza's was one of them. And it was about, now it's Bulgarian, so it's not like I understand anything. I was just watching what was happening on his screen, and he was prepping his filter. He was playing with his filter, but I assumed it was his filter for just his normal gameplay, because this filter was something about level 100 rush, something else. I can't remember what it was. And then I got into the league to start, because I started pretty close to when the private league started.
Okay.
And then I'm watching his levels just go up and up and up and up. And I was like, was he prepping a level 100 filter for our private league? Like, what the heck? Oh, it's crazy. But I mean, that is insane to me. At level 94, it's literally run now for 24 hours. And I don't know when he died, but he's already dead. So that's very, very quick. But, if you're dead.
Yeah.
So,
so you suck. Congratulations to everybody though. That's
there's a lot of high levels
going
already.
through it. Yeah, there is. And even if you died at level 2 or
make a new one,
whatever. Yeah, you're doing great. Erin started playing. And,
oh, nice. What's she playing?
The Absolution build that I made for her.
Okay, cool.
But I gave her some choices. Like, well, you could go this route and you do this. It's high risk at the beginning, but it really pans out. Or you could go this direction. So kind of encouraging a little bit of choice there, though there's still not a lot of familiarity. She's probably played 30 hours in her whole life. But eventually going to be doing Absolution, but as the witch. And then, but her first like 2 or 3 rolls, she encountered that crazy fire witch.
Oh man,
on the beat, like it's tough. Like, what are you supposed to do with your fireball?
And you can't even beat her. You can't even run. Sorry, what I mean to say, you can't outrun her because you have no speed. So I had got the flame dash, and she chased me all the way to the portal or to the waypoint. And so all I did was I went into the next zone, to the flats, and then had to control click because I wanted to go down and do hail rake, but I'm like, I'm not going to be able to run past her. I'm going to be dead in the loading screen. So yeah, she's nuts. That sucks for her.
And but when you're not used to resetting instances, or even if you unlock the waypoint and you're like, okay, waypoint, and then you're trying to like, where do I go? Like, you're dead by the time you click.
Thankfully, you don't have to click anymore, the waypoint, to unlock it. But yeah.
So she died to the I forget what her name is, but she died to her a few times, and then finally had a roll where she didn't encounter her, which is great.
Nice.
And then beat hail rake, and then got past breaking the eggs. And she's like, you know what? Now it's just, I'm going to die from something stupid.
Dumb. Yeah.
I finally got the rolls I needed, but now I'm going to die from something dumb. So she just quit.
What's she leveling? Is she going to come back? Or you mean she just took a break for now?
She'll probably come back.
What's she playing currently? What she play up until she gets towards Absolution?
She was Absolution unlocked pretty early, but she was I told her to unlock SRS from breaking the eggs. Mm-hmm. And then but I actually don't know when Absolution unlocks it. I have it written down for her, but I don't personally remember. So I said use SRS until then. And I told her to use Purifying Flame. It's a nice big AoE, and it'll give her some life regen as she goes through those first few areas.
Cool. Sweet.
So
that's fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's fun to watch new people play, and it's fun to see everybody else kind of enjoy the community. And so thank you for everyone that's participating. Don't feel bad if you're not participating, if it's not your thing, but we do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
And if you want to, it's on Discord. You can find it on our Discord under announcements.
And you are allowed to laugh at people that die.
Always. I started writing, everybody writes F's, and normally I write like haha or something. So now I've just started putting W's for a win.
We're winning because we had you die.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I always feel guilty doing it though, but I still need to do it.
Yeah, it's important. It's character building.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta, beat them a little bit when they're down so that they, toughen them up for the next one.
That's right. It's just a game, folks. It's just a game.
But I also know the feeling of when it dies and you're just so pissed off. So in my head, I laugh at the idea of somebody also being like, haha. But hopefully they understand that it comes from a place of love and
sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of condescending.
It's not condescending because they're always better than me, so I can't be condescending, but it is I find them funny. I mean, come on, that's how you get some yellow text. I tried to go into the fetid pools thinking like that's how I'll get my yellow text. Somebody had already done it. I was like, son of a that was my spot.
Yeah. A sneaky snake.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it is going to be a shorter episode. It just is this week. We've got not a whole lot going on Path of Exile wise. We talked about life. We've got our private league, which I mean, depending on how long it takes me to edit, maybe I'll get a chance to play today. But it's just sometimes they're shorter. Sometimes we actually hit that goal, that closer to. I keep hearing something, and I'm like, I swear they're walking around. Oh yeah, they are.
I forgot to mute. I've been lurking with Dr. Anus and Daikatana on Twitch, and I kept hearing your son speaking in the background, but you weren't acknowledging your son in the background. I'm like, what? what's going on? So there was a few times in the podcast where I was like, are you good? You're good. You're like, yeah, I'm good. And then I remembered that I forgot to mute both Dr. Anus and Daikatana.
You keep them both unmuted when you watch multiple people?
I thought they were both muted. I didn't realize that they were just that quiet. No, they're normally when there's just one person on, they're muted.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless I'm actually interacting with chat, they're always just muted. So, for some reason they weren't. And so it was actually on my end, but I thought they were on your end. So
is Dai play in the private league? I saw Dr. Anus's death on Discord because they're, poster deaths because they're hilarious. That one I've had that one before. The friggin' Bizarro, whatever that wave swing he does with the sword, got him. Just instantly dead. So yeah, I had his up too, but it was muted because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I mean, we're gonna play this week. If you haven't played the private league, hop in there. But with this, we're shortening it up this time. We'll talk more in After Dark.
And sorry, it is so short this week. It's just real life got in the way. And okay, we're not sorry this week, but real life got in the way. But thank you very much for listening. You're all wonderful.
Yeah, if we went long this week, it might not actually come out because
that's a good
life
innuendo.
Happens. If you know what I mean. Let's wrap this up then. Forever Exiled 258, shortest episode maybe yet. Justin AK Tags,
Tyler Recker of Days,
wishing many deaths upon you if you're playing the private league. Patrons, we will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else, we'll see you next week in 259. Website foreverexiled.com. Discord is the very fun place to be. Hop in there. We also have Global 2121 as mentioned before in game, and Patreon. Other ways to support the podcast, you'll find them on the website and down below. Have a great week, folks. Have a great week.